Welcome to Mt Shasta Escape. Today I'm taking the Tiger on the same route past Medicine Lake that I did some time ago and did a video on, and going to compare how it was with the Suzuki to the Tiger. Good morning, everybody. It is September 25th, 2024. It's 10:26 in the morning. I'm on the Mt Triumph Tiger 900 GT Pro, and I'm doing it in reverse, but I'm kind of duplicating a ride that I did some time ago on the Suzuki GSX-8S. And that was kind of the ride that convinced me I didn't really want to do dirt roads with it anymore. And of course, I've already convinced myself on this. I've done quite a few dirt roads now, much harder than anything I did with the 8S. I expect it has a trim below on them, so I'm going to go duplicate this ride to Medicine Lake is where I'm headed. When I did this on the Suzuki, I did a lot of stops, and it still took me about 4 hours. It's only 117 miles, but it's a scenic, twisty road, so I mean, it's a fun road to ride. I keep messing around with my camera placement and mic. I'm wearing my 3/4 helmet today with my Bluetooth mic connected up to the camera, which is currently connected by a Garmin suction mount to the front of my windshield. I'm going to minimize the video I show going at higher speeds and do voiceovers if I want to use it. Well, I've said this before, but GoPros are most annoying. This has shut itself down twice now. So I just had to stop, take the battery out, put it back in, kind of reboot it. Said it was repairing its file. So, go figure. Well, it's good to get off and stretch frequently, but this GoPro is making me do it more often than I expected. Working at the moment. Doesn't feel particularly hot, it just shuts off. It's like somebody just patched a little bit of road right there. Okay, so my camera just shut off for maybe the fourth time. So I stopped and said the battery still had like 60% charge, but I put a different battery in, crossed my fingers, and maybe it'll work better. Okay, so I pulled off the road and put that new battery into the GoPro. And when I pulled off, there's some rather deep gravel right here, so I'm going to get a test of just how this motorcycle is going to do getting out of here. So cross my fingers. Okay, it's my first test in deep gravel, and I put my legs down just in case, but I didn't even have to paddle. The bike did pretty darn well. I could have kept feet up through there. All these things you kind of have to find out over time. I forgot to mention the part of the road here that was so potholed and broken up. I think I've gotten maybe past the really fresh pavement, but they've repaved all of it. So I really can't compare this part of the road to what it was like on the Suzuki. I'm sure the dirt road should be comparable, but again, I don't expect any trouble there. The Suzuki did okay on that dirt road too. I do like having a motorcycle that's a good street bike, but it's also pretty darn good on these way off the beaten path roads. If you happen to find yourself in some gravel like I did just a minute ago, no trouble. I wore a fleece at the beginning of this ride, but I took it off some time ago, and I just might have to put that thing back on. So the air temperature 73, though. I mean, that's not that bad. It's just I'm getting that filtered sunlight now instead of the direct sunlight. Still climbing. Temperature is still dropping. Oh, I'm experimenting now. I turned on the heated grips, and I turned on the heated seat, so maybe that'll make it so I won't feel so cold. I'm going to be curious to see how many people I see camping at the campgrounds. When I drove out here last time on my 8S, I didn't go by the campgrounds. And here is my turn. Camper should be here. The campgrounds are closed for insect treatment. Okay. So I can't do the campground. Okay. Okay, this is where I'm eating. This is the picnic area by Medicine Lake. There are some people out here, so I'm not alone. This will take me over on the other side of the lava flow, which is always kind of cool. Kind of forgot just how narrow this road is. It's got wide spots, but depending on what you're driving, you're not going to be able to get past without having one or the other back up to one of the wide spots and waiting for the other to go by. There's lots of things around here to look at someday. Narrow little dirt road, though. Probably do okay on there, but if you get into some weird spot to try to turn around that's narrow, this would be a beast to try to get it turned around. I didn't particularly care for doing that even on my 300-pound KLX 300. It's just a 500-pound adventure bike. So my elevation is 6938. Not sure, but I think up here somewhere it's actually going to make it up to 7, slightly over. I'm starting to see my big lava flow off to the left. That's kind of where I stopped and ate lunch when I was on the GSX 8S. I think here in the white spot on the road up here is where I pulled over. Yeah, I even see the log that I sat on. 6988, I think we'll hit 7,000 here in just a moment. Yeah, 7,014. I'm not going to watch that elevation anymore. My turn, which I think is going to be onto a dirt road, is coming right up. I'm going to stop and try to get this thing set up with traction and control ABS off and in rain mode. Here's my turn. A dirt road that maybe decided I had to get an adventure bike. Yahoo! So I will stop right here. Okay, I stopped and I turned off traction control. That was successful. And I don't know if I ever made it into rain mode or not. I'm not sure if it shows me anywhere. No, I didn't. So, okay, I got to figure out how to get to rain mode again. Okay, I did get it into rain mode. Traction control is off. That's what I was looking for. Traction control is off. I'm in rain mode. Oh yeah, it's off. Definitely can spin the rear wheel now. See what the ABS does. The rear ABS was still engaging. Oh well, doesn't seem too intrusive. At least with the traction control off, I'm not going to get that power cut all the time when I'm on something bumpy. This dirt road section that I'm doing, connecting to the paved road on the other side, was 6.7 miles, and I've gone a little ways here, so I don't have quite that far to go anymore, but I have 5.3 miles left, so I've gone a little over a mile. Well, like with all my motorcycles, I'm still in the honeymoon phase with this new Triumph Tiger, but I am really liking it. You know, when I buy a motorcycle, I always have some kind of points I want to check off. And with the KLX, yeah, I wanted something I could do forest roads with, and it was good for that. With the Suzuki GSX-8S, I was looking for a better street bike with a low seat height, with a relatively low weight. It was good on the interstate, good on the state highway, so if I wanted to go further, which I did, it was good for that, but then I found myself on dirt roads too often. And now, my goals for the Triumph were something that would be more comfortable on the road, which it is, with a better wind protection. It's got a little more upright seating position. I can't say that the seat's any more comfortable than what the 8S seat was, but the wind protection is nice. Cruise control is awesome. All the menu choices is they are far harder to use in the Suzuki. I don't like that. Again, as I get better with it, it'll become where it isn't an issue. But it's also very, very good on these forest routes. So I've satisfied what I was looking for. A little better wind protection and cruise control, a little better ground clearance, a little better suspension for rough roads, dirt roads, a little bigger front wheel, a 19-inch. 21 would have been okay, but the 19-inch is certainly doing the job. I'm happy with it. So it hit all the boxes this time. As always, when I get a new motorcycle, I'm going to keep it forever. I know myself well enough to know that's not true. Just we'll see how long this one lasts. I've kept them 3 or 4 years at a time before. Maybe I'll make that with this one. I have a feeling that if I want my wife to go along with me, it's probably not going to happen until I get the full-on motorcycles out of my system and maybe go for like a 3-wheeled Can-Am Spider. At that point, you don't have to worry about tipping it over. You still got the open air feeling and all, but you don't get the lean into the corners and all the good stuff that you get with a motorcycle. But I've actually test ridden them twice. They were fun. I thought they were good. I'm just still at a point where I can ride a motorcycle. I'm not sure I want to give that up yet. Well, having the traction control off is really nice. This is kind of a little washboardy and a little rough in places on this road. And if you got the traction control off, you'll hear that motor kind of stuttering and cutting out all the time due to the traction control. So when you're on rough roads like this, you really don't want it on. I haven't figured out yet if the Triumph has different levels of traction control. The Suzuki did, and on the least intrusive traction control, you could turn it off, but I never had to on dirt roads. I never got that motor stuttering out all the time on a dirt road. So maybe there is a setting for traction control on this Triumph. Well, it takes time to kind of figure out what you can and can't do. I mean, with what I figured out already, I like this bike a lot, but I'm not sure that I've explored all the different possibilities. If I could get a traction control that wouldn't be cutting out all the time, just going over a relatively flat, rough dirt road, but would kind of keep you straight when you get into that deep, soft stuff. I mean, I could like that. Like I say, Suzuki certainly did that. Suzuki had it well set up. I'm guessing there might be some way to do that on this motorcycle, but it's a very complex motorcycle with the menus and choices and trying to figure out where everything is hidden. Every review I've written about the Suzuki, everybody just goes, "Oh, this is so easy to use, and it's got everything I want, except cruise control, which Viridian Cruise would have taken care of." Suzuki got all that stuff right. Triumph, I don't know, maybe the 2024 simplified or improved a little bit. I really don't know. But like everything, I'm eventually going to figure all this out, know what the limits are, everything is possible. I'm not quit worrying about it. I'll just know what I can do. But again, Suzuki just made it so easy. And I'm into the forest fire zone here again. That's always a little depressing. I'm just about back to the pavement. Dirt road was uneventful, nice. I like being able to ride roads like this. Hardcore stuff, I may try a little bit with this, but I mean, as I found out with the KLX, it's not something I'm really all that into anymore. And when I say hardcore, I may try that Eddie's Loop someday after I get a skid plate on this probably. But even that I consider kind of an intermediate off-road type thing. The KLX could have done much, much tougher trails, but I didn't want to. And that Eddie's Loop, it's going to be more just a curiosity, see if I can do it. I might do it once and call it quits. I don't know. Oh, I was going to turn the motor off and see if it'll reset the traction control. So, I'll do that right now. Okay, just like that, I've got traction control again, which is fine. Still on rain mode, I'm going to change that. Oh, okay, getting a little glitch there. Finally, no, it didn't change. I should be able to change it while I'm riding, but just now it didn't want to. So, back to road. Select it. Okay, back to road. I had to stop that time. Not sure why. I wonder if it's got something to do with turning those things off like I did. Okay, my nav says it's going to be 2:11 when I get home. It's 12:57 right now, so that's not real long.